Today, we're diving into something often kind of glossed over in game development, the reality after launch. You know, that initial excitement hits, the game's out, but then what?
Exactly. That's often where the real marathons.
Yeah.
Especially for smaller teams or solo developers.
Yeah.
It's not just ship it and forget it.
Not at all. And we're focusing today on Little Fighter 2 Remastered. It recently launched on Steam, and honestly, its developer has been on a non-stop update train ever since.
Yeah, it's been quite something to watch. We've been looking through, the update logs, developer notes, community chatter.
All that good stuff.
And it paints this really clear picture. Everything from urgent bug fixes and sorting out technical problems to mapping out the future, and even some pretty heartfelt apology.
Right. So our mission today is to sort of unpack that whole post-launch journey. We want to show you the work involved in patching, players planning ahead, all through the eyes of a clearly very dedicated creator.
And to really get it, we should probably start with those immediate challenges, right? The apologies that came out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that really set the tone. The developer was incredibly upfront, admitted straight away that some bugs, like Louis' jump being weirdly low or some character stats being off.
Stuff they said should have been caught earlier. No hedging. Just owning it.
Which is refreshing. And they were open about why, too. Basically, limited testing as a solo dev.
We used the word overwhelmed. Just couldn't physically test every single aspect repeatedly alone.
But why was the testing so limited? There's actually a bit of backstory there.
There is, yeah. A pretty tough one. About 10 years ago, their previous indie game, Hero Fighter.
I remember hearing about this.
It got cracked just days after it came out. Pirated versions flooded the place, basically killed the revenue stream.
Oh, man. That's got to be crushing for an indie dev. Forced them to abandon the whole project.
Completely. And apparently there were even leaks of unreleased content back then, too. Just a nightmare scenario.
So connecting that past trauma to this launch, you can see why they'd be hesitant about sharing tests.
Absolutely. They admitted it made them overly cautious, terrified of pre-launch cracking. Yeah. Especially since they'd left their job to do this full time. This project was, everything.
It adds so much context. But the good news is they seem to be learning from it. They actually said something I now recognize and hope to improve on.
Yeah, and they plan to bring in more community testers for beta builds of major updates going forward. That's a big shift.
Definitely. And speaking of learning, they learned fast. That first week, boom, a major patch landed.
A big one. Addressed, quote, many bugs fixed. This wasn't just minor tweaks. It was a serious response.
So what were the highlights? Core gameplay stuff first.
Yeah. Definitely. Character stats got fixed, so movement actually felt different between characters. Louis' jump height, fixed.
Thank goodness for Louis mains.
Right. And little things for comfort, too. Like the F5 speed boost. It was like 30x, way too fast. They dropped it to 5x.
Much more manageable.
And they slowed down the screen scrolling just a touch. Helps with motion sickness, makes it feel better. Small things, but they add up.
Totally. And then there was the keyboard stuff. Big focus there.
Oh, yeah. Input now works even if caps lock is on. Tiny annoyance fixed. Plus, Shift and Creel keys are now supported.
That was a big request, wasn't it? Alt is still a no-go, though.
Still restricted, yeah. System menu conflicts, apparently.
Yeah.
But they changed the function key shortcuts F1 to F9 now, instead of Shift plus numbers. Easier to use.
And added Alt key combos for volume?
Yep. Alt plus bracket keys for SFX. Alt plus command period for BGM. Nice touch. And interestingly, multiple players can now share the same input key.
Really? How does it work?
It highlights the conflict, but lets you confirm anyway. Flexibility, I guess.
Huh. Okay, what about the interface, UI change?
Quite a few. They added a volume control UI right on the screen, top right corner, defaulted BGM to 40, SFX to 60.
Sensible defaults.
And a move list button also popped up in the top right. People found digging through menus annoying.
Good call, easy access.
Plus, the Coliseum stage now fits the screen width properly. No more horizontal scrolling there. And a simple QIT button on the game mode menu. Small, but useful.
Definitely sounds like they were listening closely to early feedback. Any accessibility stuff?
Yeah, actually, stereo sound was added, specifically mentioned for visually impaired players. So action on the left sounds louder in the left speaker, for example.
Oh, that's really thoughtful.
Main menu now supports keyboard input to start a game. Press 1 for local, 2 for network. And achievements got smarter.
So
clearing on a higher difficulty now unlocks the lower difficulty achievements too. So beat stage 5 on difficult, you get gold, silver, and bronze.
Nice. Rewards players properly.
Even the unlock code entry screen was improved. Works even if your keys overlap with attack key. And they enabled crazy difficulty in VS.
The hardcore players must have appreciated that. And stability crashes.
Address some key ones like a crash if too many items were dropped, spamming F8. That's
the item spam crash. Yeah. Classic.
Fixed a crash in stage 1's final phase if you got defeated just as the 2 marks appeared. Mm-hmm. Also cleaned up a Chinese typo in Jack's moves, a UI typo that said 2-on-2 for 1-on-1 championship.
Attention to detail.
and fixed the player name input boxes looking tiny on high-res screens. So yeah, that first patch was substantial.
No kidding. Shows real commitment right out of the gate. Okay, so after that initial wave, another big topic came up, lag.
Yeah, the perennial online game issue. And again, the developer was super transparent here, gave a really detailed breakdown of why it happens.
Which is helpful because lag can mean different things. So type 1 was network lag.
Right, and the crucial point they made, LF2 Remastered doesn't use rollback netcode.
Ah, okay. So that means...
It means any delay on the internet, your connection, router hops, Wi-Fi hiccups, ISP routing, distance to server, server load even.
Yeah.
And they actually listed this.
Let me get cat.
Solar activity or a cat walking past your Wi-Fi router.
Yeah.
So yeah, it directly impacts gameplay, but the netcode choice, not necessarily bad implementation.
Okay. Type 2 lag in standalone.
Yeah, it seems weird, right? Offline lag. But it's tied to the game engine, Pixie.js, apparently managing textures and memory.
So if your computer's busy doing other stuff?
Exactly. Loads browser tabs open, streaming video, whatever. It can force the game to keep swapping assets in and out of memory, which causes stuttering.
So the fix is simple. Close background apps, if you notice it.
Pretty much. And finally, type 3, keyboard input delay.
Right, the Bluetooth issue.
Yeah. Bluetooth keyboards generally have like a 30 to 80 millisecond delay.
Yeah.
Maybe not noticeable for everyone.
But for hardcore fighting game players, that's definitely noticeable.
Absolutely. So the advice is simple. Use a wired if you're sensitive to that.
Makes sense. But they are still looking to optimize input handling overall, right? Even with lag.
Yep. They mentioned wanting to improve how inputs are registered, especially when things get laggy. Good to hear.
Okay, so they've addressed the initial fires, explained the lag, what came next. Things got a bit more proactive.
Exactly. They introduced the beta branch on Steam for the next big update, V2.12, which is a direct response to wanting more testing.
Right, involving the community like they said they would. How do you get into that?
There's a code, LF2 beta tester, you can use in the Steam properties for the game. Lets you try out the newer, potentially less stable builds.
Cool. And what did that V2.12 beta bring?
Steam stuff.
Steam overlay support on Windows finally arrived. Makes screenshots and recording way...
Oh, nice. QL improved.
And Steam Remote Play also got enabled on Windows, works via the overlay, though they did note there might be audio.
Okay, but fixable in Steam settings, maybe?
Potentially, yeah. Something users might...
Gotcha. What about gameplay changes in that beta? I heard something about the view.
Yeah, this was a big one. You can now zoom the gameplay screen out slightly. F10 or a UI button goes from 712 by 400 to 794 by... It's closer to the original LF. Players felt the default remastered view was a bit too narrow, affecting control and visibility. So restoring that classic feel.
Pretty much. And the Coliseum stage specifically was reverted to that wider view, and it auto zooms out now, so there's no horizontal scroll. They also slightly increased the default hitbox depth, the Z-width.
From 15 to 17 unit. Wow.
Makes it slightly easier to hit the AI, apparently, as the AI isn't aware of that specific change. A subtle tweak to player feel versus AI.
Any input fixes? Those can be tricky.
Oh, yeah. They tackled some really complex input registration bugs. Things like pressing D, then quickly double tapping forward, and J wouldn't trigger DJ anymore. Or pressing forward, then D and J together wouldn't cause a weird dash plus defend bug.
Getting into the real nitty-gritty of fighting game inputs there.
Absolutely. And fixing things like running, then hitting J and A simultaneously to make sure the dash jump attack comes out correctly.
Crucial for...
And a keychain. Normally, if jump or attack triggers an action, the key press is now consumed, which is different from original LF2. Helps prevent accidental inputs.
But not always.
Right, except for the attack key, when used for rolling and picking up an item simultaneously. That key press isn't consumed, so it doesn't accidentally block you from doing a special move right after rolling near an item.
Wow, that's a deep level of mechanical consideration.
Isn't it? They also mentioned a potential fix for the right shift key, not working on some keyboard.
Good stuff. So V2.12 sounds like it was packed. Bugs and QLL too.
Absolutely. Tons of stuff. Fixed a rare Windows startup crash by including the Visual C++ redistributable.
Standard dependency issue.
Fixed crashes on Survival Stage 25. Tackled issues with items getting stuck in the air, or maybe crashing the game if picked up while you were getting hit.
Oof, that sounds frustrating.
Fixed some character-specific stuff, too, like Julian jumping way too high with an upper attack, or Henry's weapon getting stuck sometime, John's shield causing stones to vanish and reappear. Little things like that.
Polishing the edges.
Yep. Fix that annoying Alt plus Tab bug where the game thought Alt was still held down. Added a blinking HP bar when you're being healed. Nice visual cue.
Oh, I like that.
Stage achievements automatically unlock in lower difficulties. We mentioned that before, but it was reinforced. And they changed some function key shortcuts, again, for convenience.
Like ESC for pause?
ESC pauses, yeah. Pause plus Q restarts. Pause plus N to step pause. Pause plus H hides the pause text. Pause plus Z toggles that new zoom, mainly for keyboards where you need the FN key for F keys.
Makes sense. Keep controls accessible.
Setting buttons are now collapsible, save screen space. Windows game icons look better, apparently, though the Electron icon in the task manager is still an issue they know about.
Always something.
Fixed achievement tracking issues between user accounts, localized achievement names into Chinese, fixed the unlock code not working on some foreign keyboard layouts.
Wow, really covering the bases.
Added a debug log to help track down weird white screen issues and other subtle bugs. Moved the network play refresh button. Fixed background scrolling while paused. Just tons of minor polish.
It's impressive. And they were open about their own pace during that.
Yeah. Very candid. Mentioned personal distractions, fragmented time affecting development speed.
Yeah.
Even said they were waiting on getting a Steam Deck to specifically work on controller support.
Just very human, isn't it? Okay, so looking beyond the immediate fixes and betas, what about the future, the roadmap?
Right. There have been small recent updates, like finishing the Chinese achievement localization and formally enabling Steam Remote Play, but they acknowledge Remote Play still needs work after network play and controller support are done.
Priorities.
Exactly. And the main roadmap is public, viewable, in-game even. Shows clear priorities. High priority free updates include...
Let me guess, network play.
Top of the list. Proper Steam matchmaking. No more messing with IP addresses or port forwarding. That's huge for accessibility.
Game changer for online. What else?
A really interesting cost-based VS mode. Characters get a point value, teams have a budget. Losing characters deducts from the budget. First team to zero budget.
Ooh, that sounds like a cool strategic layer, like a salary cap mode.
Kinda, yeah. And then two big must-dos.
Gamepad support has to be one.
Yep, full support for Gamepad. Critical for a fighting game on Steam.
Absolutely. And the other must...
Stage 6 with new character, including an extremely overpowered boss that players won't get to use. Adds new content and challenge.
Intrigue keeps the single-player co-op fresh, too.
Steam Big Picture mode is also under consideration, which fits with Gamepad.
What about paid stuff, deals?
Few things planned. An art book, high-res sprites, sketches, illustrations. Nice for fans and supporters.
Good collector's item.
An original character pack letting you play as a character using the classic 2002 LF2 sprite style.
The nostalgia play.
And an unlock all content DLC. Basically a way to support the dev and get everything instantly, though you can still unlock it all just by playing.
Fair enough. Optional support path. Any consideration for modding?
Workshop support is listed as under consideration. Could allow users to modify sprites, backgrounds.
Yeah.
That could be huge for longevity.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Community content keeps games alive.
Also considering remastering the template character sprite, fixing old bugs, and adding fan requests like disabling item drops or time limits in VS mode. And they note these fan requests might even jump the queue.
That's great to hear. Shows they're really listening. So how confident are they about hitting this road?
They state a commitment to completing at least 70% of the plan, which seems realistic. But they also add the caveat about unexpected and unsolvable technical challenges, potentially causing delays or cancellation.
It's that solo dev reality again. Pragmatic, but hopeful.
Exactly. Like a grounded perspective on the realities of indie development.
What an incredible amount of work, transparency, and dedication we've seen just looking at post-launch period for Remastered. It really highlights the passion involved.
Absolutely. It pulls together that developer drive, the vital role of player feedback, and just that relentless cycle of improving and iterating, especially as a solo creator. It's immense.
And hopefully hearing this gives you, the listener, a deeper appreciation for what goes into the games you play after they hit that launch button. It's not just code. It's overcoming challenges, adapting, nurturing a community.
It really reveals the struggle, but also the satisfaction of bringing that creative vision out and then sticking with it, polishing it based on real-world feedback.
So maybe something to think about is that balance, the developer's original vision versus the constant pull of community requests and technical. How much as a developer's past those successes, those failures like Hero Fighter, shape what they build next and shape the games that eventually land in your library?
Yeah. How does that history influence the future? Definitely something to ponder.